Pleasant good evening, everybody, from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Pouring the rain down outside, but we'll play baseball here tonight as the Cardinals try to sweep the Astros. Jay Randolph, along with Mike Shannon. Jack Buck will join us a bit later on. Mike, needless to say, a victory here tonight would be a wonderful road trip. The Cardinals could come out of this road trip 5-1.
Well, they could. 5 out of 6, Jay, is fantastic on the road, as you well know. But they have their hands full tonight because they have a fellow by the name of Mike Scott pitching. And to give you an idea how good a pitcher he is, he has 98 strikeouts. He leads the major leagues in that department. He's reached the 100 level if he gets 2 here tonight sooner than Nolan Ryan or J.R. Richard. Now, that is quite an accomplishment.
Ray Burris gets the call tonight for the Cardinals, and we'll be back to bring you the starting lineups from the Dome in Houston right after these messages.
Here you see the scene in the Astrodome. You see that young lady walking off as she goes behind home plate there. That is the young lady that sang the anthem tonight. And Jay Randolph, it may be one of the best I have ever heard.
Well, because of our time situation, it's tough to cover it here. Lynn Humphreys from St. Louis, brilliant job of singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
We'll talk more about her later. Here tonight, it's Ray Burris, the Redbird right-hander, and here's the lineup that he has supporting him tonight. Coleman, McGee, and Van Slyke. Clark, Herr, and Pendleton, Smith, Heath, and Ray Burris, the right-hander. On the other side of the ledger, it'll be Mike Scott, and this guy has really put it together in the last year or so. He'll have Doran, Reynolds, and Walling, Davis, Cruz, and Bass, Poole, Bailey, and Scott. Cardinals try to make it 5 in a row tonight down here in Houston, Texas. Raining outside, warm and cozy inside, and the play-by-play comes your way in just 1 minute.
Well, on the hill tonight, as Mike Shannon has told you, is another Mike Scott. His record of 4-4. He is unquestionably the new ace of the Astros after improving from 5-11 in '84 to 18-8 in '85. There are his stats as we open play, and the first pitch to Coleman is low for a ball. Jerry Crawford is behind the plate.
This kid is really some story. He went out to Roger Craig, who's now the San Francisco manager. This was a couple of years ago, and he wanted to learn how to throw the split-fingered delivery or the fork ball, and he credits Craig in the fast development, as far as he's concerned, of that fork ball with a lot of his success.
That's a little high. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's from Santa Monica, California, is Mike Scott. As we get a look at Vince Coleman, tied for the National League lead in triples with 5, and that's inside, ball 3.
He's having a little trouble with his control. That ball hit him there, Jay, and he's going to be awarded first base. But you see Scott with the pitch prior to that, as he got the ball back, he went up on top of the mound, and he tried to bend at the waist and move around a little bit. Watch this ball just nick him on the shirt sleeve, and that's all it takes. You see him still trying to loosen up a little bit, so he's not quite loose. If you get these good pitchers, you have to get them early.
Scott was accused of doctoring baseballs by the Cubs, and they found some sandpaper on the mound during one of his starts.
Pretty tough to hide sandpaper.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what to say about that.
There's a lot of ways to scuff up the baseball. Although sandpaper is a very good way to do it, Jay, but there's a lot of other ways that you wouldn't get caught. I find that a little hard to believe, but I saw a pitcher come in one day out of the bullpen, and when he gave the bat boy his jacket, a tube of Vaseline fell out of the jacket. Now that's going a little too far also.
Scott tonight on the hill. Coleman at first after being hit by the pitch. Coleman has stolen 28 bases, has a pretty good lead. The throw over. Charlie Williams is the first base umpire tonight. Harry Wendelstadt is at second, and Terry Tate is at third. And again behind the plate tonight, Jerry Crawford. 1 strike the count. There are the umpires for you. Wild throw, but
that ball hit him.
Yeah, is he all right?
Well, he'd be all right. He's
Coleman.
tough as nails, but that ball smacked him good. You could hear it hit all the way up here.
Ooh.
It just take him a little while to get back up. That baseball hits you going about 80 miles an hour. A little different story. They got a break there.
Hit him on the arm.
They got a big break there. That ball would have gone into the corner, Jay, if it doesn't strike the Cardinal runner, and he would have wound up all the way on third base.
Rich Hatcher there, the first base coach, chatting with Coleman.
Jay, the young lady that sang the anthem, Lynn Humphrey, would like to wish her mother, Virginia Humphrey, a happy birthday. She's in St. Louis, and so we wish a very happy birthday to
Virginia's daughter's a lovely lady with
a
marvelous voice.
Wow.
Another throw and safe at first. The Cardinals start the night with a record of 20-27, 12.5 back of the Mets, and they're batting .232 as a team. There's Vince running, the swing, and the throw, and safe.
Great.
And stolen base number 29.
Boy, that was a great throw by the catcher, Mark Bailey. He got rid of that ball like a pitchback machine, and Vince really has himself down pat now. Watch how quickly he gets rid of the baseball, and right on the mark, he just couldn't beat him down there. He really has it going now, doesn't he? He's been on a roll, Coleman has. He's reached base with that being hit by the pitch in this first inning. So often in the last 3 weeks, and the stolen base total indicates that.
He's now been on base, Mike, in 18 of his last 35 plate appearances. One ball and 2 strikes to McGee. McGee has stolen only 5 bases. He is 3 for 4 in this series here. Now time is called. Walling, Reynolds, Doran, and Davis on the infield, with Cruz, Bass, and Poole left to right in the outfield. Scott doing the hurling. Bailey behind the plate, fouled away. Cardinals have now stolen 71 bases on the year, lead the National League in that department. They're 17-17 of the Redbirds on artificial turf, and 10-15 at night. 10-16 against right-handers. McGee trying to get something going in the first inning. The Cardinals, as Mike has told you, have won 4 in a row. That's high, 2-2. The Cardinals took 2 out of 3 at Cincinnati. They lost the opener there 6-4, and then were winners 11-2 and 2-1. They rolled in here to the Texas City and have taken the first 2 by scores of 9-2 and last night 3-1.
So if they keep up that particular kind of winning, it'll be a big score tonight. 11-2, 2-1, 9-2, 3-1. Go for 12-4 tonight.
A victory, any shape or form, would be all right with me, I can tell you. Well, now we've got the payoff pitch coming. Coleman out there at second. Cardinals threatening here in the first inning. And slap foul and out of play, and we'll do it again. McGee has been on base by a hit or a walk in 10 of 24 plate appearances on the road trip, and in 36 of the Cardinals' 47 games. His next triple, if it comes right now, would be the 50th of his career. Why not now? And fouled away again. Crowd still coming in. Terrible traffic problems with the very, very heavy rains here this afternoon and tonight. Took the club about 20-25 minutes longer than normal to get here on their chartered bus from the hotel this evening because of the heavy rains. Fouled away again, and McGee and Scott battling here.
That's as good a swing as I've seen Willie have in a long time. That was a great pitch from Scott.
Final score, Mike. Pittsburgh beats Atlanta 12-3. And this afternoon it was Kansas City over Milwaukee 8-6. And Detroit beat Oakland 8-5.
Big hello to Frank and Mary Kane in St. Louis from Marion Reardon here tonight.
Ball got away, and it was going to be very close at second as they tried the pickoff play.
That ball came off the glove of the shortstop Reynolds and then hit him in the face. Let's take another look. He tried to tag him before he had it, Jay. And the ball came off, struck him in the face. That ball's jumping around out there tonight.
Reynolds playing at shortstop this evening. And he's okay. And it will be Mike Scott again with that 3-2 count on McGee. Philadelphia is leading Los Angeles 3-1. They're in the third inning at the Vet in Philadelphia. San Diego leads New York 2-0 in the fourth. They're looking for the pickoff play again and don't make it. Cincinnati leads Chicago in the sixth inning 1-0. Montreal over San Francisco in the sixth inning 1-0. And Willie fouls another one off. And these two continue to battle here in the early going. Over in the American League, Minnesota's leading Toronto 4-0. And they're in the fourth inning. Boston and Cleveland tied 2-2 in the fourth. Seattle leads Baltimore 2-1 in the fourth. And Texas and Chicago are 1-1 in the second. That pretty much brings you up to date on all the baseball as we're in the first inning here in the Dome with the Cardinals and the Astros. Vince is running and it's foul.
That was most likely ball 4, but when you throw as hard as Scott does, you've got to swing at that ball, Jay. You can't believe when that ball starts out and you start to swing. It looks like it's going to be a pitch that you can really rip. Then, lo and behold, it starts to rise and tail. Watch. See how it started off? It looked like it was going to be right there, and then all of a sudden it starts shooting. Damn.
Popped up. And the third baseman, Walling, comes on and makes the play. So Scott wins the battle with McGee. Coleman out there at second, and Andy Van Slyke. Slick, as he is known, is 2 for 8 in this series, playing every day now in right field, batting .235. 19 runs batted in and 3 homers. He's hit a couple on this trip. Don Wolverton and his family, Kathy, Laura, and Emily, want to say hello to Ed and Joanne Wolverton. Paul Wolverton used to work for us at Channel 5. And they're here at the game tonight. Send along their best to the folks back in St. Louis. Philadelphia now leading Los Angeles in the fourth inning 5-1. Orel Hershiser taking it on the chin in that one. They try to pick off again. Safe. Cardinals will wing their way home tonight on their Ozark charter after this one. A 7-game homestand starting tomorrow night at the stadium against Chicago. 4 games against the Cubs, and then the Montreal Expos coming in for 3. Long one, foul down the right side. And another small crowd on hand here in the Dome. Last night we had about 6,000. We might have 7 tonight. I don't know.
You want to bet some Budweiser on it?
No. You're too good at that.
There's more than 7,000.
More than 7. All right.
Not much more.
No. You're too good.
As you said the other night, a skosh more.
A skosh more. All right.
Skosh, man. You're too much.
And he got Van Slyke to go for one, blowing outside.
That was that fork ball that we're talking about.
Bottom dropped right out of it. 2 strikes the count to Andy.
Take another look. Looks like a fastball, and then you go to swing. Down she heads.
And Coleman is running, and he is there. Stolen base number 30 for Vince. And as you mentioned, Mike, he is really on his game right now.
He's got it all together. Sits safely in 5 of his last 6, 12 of the last 14, and his stolen base total really shows.
Redbird stole 314 bases in '85, the 5th team in Major League history to pass 300. Leading the National League was 70 coming into tonight. That's now 72. They've been successful now in 72 out of 94 tries. That's about a 77% average.
They have the infield playing in. Now they move them back a bit. Let's wait and see. Yeah, now they move him back. Hal Lanier moves him back.
came back out.
Not a way to go, Hal.
You don't like them in tight anyway, do you?
The first inning, you're going to be kidding.
That's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If you figure you're only going to score 1 run, you get a bad team.
Van Slyke 6 for 22 and 273 with 5 runs scored and 7 RBIs in the 5 games on this trick. Hasn't committed an error in 38 games in the outfield. Made a big play out here last night in right field. Full count.
Boy, he's struggling, Jay. He's had a tough inning, Scott has. He was unable to get loose. It appeared in the first 5 or 10 pitches. He ought to be loose now because he's thrown a lot of deliveries. McGee really made him work hard, and it's 3-2 on Van Slyke.
And that's foul outside of first. Andy got good wood on it. And Scott has thrown a lot of pitches, and this is the kind of a guy, Mike, you like to get to early, of course. Like to get to him anytime, but I mean.
Well, history tells you the good pitchers, the Koufaxes, the Gibsons, the Spahns, if you beat them and you scored a lot of runs off of them, it was usually in the first 1, 2, or the 3rd inning.
Yep. Struck him out on a high, hard one. Big strikeout there. That was out of the strike zone, but Andy had a rip at it.
Way out of the strike zone. And he knew he was going to get the fastball, and the reason that he was going to get the fastball is standing in the batter's box now.
Jack Clark batting .259, 3 for 7 in this series. Clark, a lifetime .465 hitter against the Astros.
Oh, he had a good rip at that. My goodness. He's missed a lot of pitches in the past 2 weeks, Jay, that he should be hitting. He's just off a micrometer, man. He's very close.
Well, he's hit .333 over his last 7 games. Now time called while one of the bat boys comes out to get a ball behind home plate.
He's got Clark set up now. He threw him the fastball. Now he should get the off-speed delivery. He called for the fastball inside, shook him off. Looks like he's going to go outside. Let's see if he goes with that. That was the forkball, but he made a mistake with it there. It didn't do what he wanted. It stayed up.
And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Coleman down there at third, and Scott trying to pitch his way out of a bit of a jam here. And he will if he can get Clark.
There it is. You see the bottom drop out of that one.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Coleman was hit by a pitch, stole first to second, second to third, and then McGee and Van Slyke popped out and struck out.
Here.
Strikeout number 2.
That's 100 on the season, Jay, and he reaches the 100 plateau sooner than J.R. Richard, who was a phenomenal strikeout pitcher, and Nolan Ryan also.
After an end of a half inning of play here in the Dome, we have no score. Houston will have Doran, Reynolds, and Walling coming up. Back here in the Dome. There you see the defensive alignment for the Redbirds this evening. Burris and Heath the battery tonight. Coleman, McGee, and Van Slyke. Outfield left to right. Pendleton, Smith, Herr, and Clark on the infield. And Ray Burris comes in to Bill Doran. Doran 2 for 8 in this series, batting .273. And Houston is a team batting .240 coming into tonight's game. 1 ball and 1 strike from Burris. The Houston club, as you get a look at Burris's statistics, will be heading to the West Coast after tonight's game. That's inside.
They haven't played the Dodgers yet.
No, they open against the Dodgers out there.
Of course, we haven't played Philadelphia either. I'm glad we're not playing them now, man. They're hot.
That's right. Phillies are leading 5-2 in the 4th inning at the vet tonight over the Dodgers. And that's low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ray Burris getting the call. Makes his 4th start and 5th appearance of the season tonight. The veteran right-hander purchased from Louisville in May. signed a free agent contract with Louisville and is getting a chance to come back to the big leagues. Fouled away, and it's 3-2. The Cubs come to St. Louis tomorrow for 4. It'll be Forsch against Eckersley tomorrow night. Friday evening, Cox against Hoffman. Tudor and Sutcliffe will hook up Saturday afternoon. Greg Matthews, the rookie who won here last night, goes against Trout on Sunday. Here's a long one to right. Van Slyke watches it go.
Yeah, that Doran's swinging the bat very well. He and Davis on this club. And that's the way you like to start a game, isn't it? Over the board.
Second home run of the season for Bill Doran. His 10th RBI. And he really got into it, Mike.
3-2 fastball. Right down the chute. Well, that's what you call right down the middle, isn't it? Throw him down the middle, and that's usually what happens.
Craig Reynolds is batting in the number 2 spot. Cardinals, if they're to win this one and make it 5 in a row and 5-1 on the trip, will have to come from behind. Reynolds batting .280. And a strike, as you got a good look at the curved ball from center field. 15 runs batted in and 2 home runs for Craig Reynolds, 33 years old, who came here from the Seattle Mariners in December of '78. For Floyd Bannister, another curve, and it's a dandy. Reynolds hit .272 with 32 RBIs last year. He's a .244 lifetime hitter versus the Cardinals. That's high. Reynolds originally broke in with the Pittsburgh organization. Burris last season with Milwaukee was 9-13 and a 4.81 ERA. The 2-1 offering is low, 3-1. Well, we want to say hello to our good friend Coy Stacy down at the Twinkling Star in Paducah, Kentucky tonight, and all the gang. Hope they're settled in for what'll be a good evening of baseball. Ripped into right. Oh, Doran and Reynolds have connected off Burris right off the bat. He ripped that fastball inside. Here's Denny Walling. Denny's batting .311 with 11 RBIs and a home run. Walling's 32 years of age.
This is not a young Houston team down here. They got some miles on it.
Another long one to right. Van Slyke, though, is there. Walling came here in June of '77 from Crawford deal. Now we'll get a look at Glenn Davis, the first baseman, 1 for 7 in this series, batting .270. He's been a big man in the RBI department for them with 33 and has hit 10 home runs. Davis tied for the 4th highest home run total in the National League with Bob Horner going into today's play. And he and Kevin Bass are tied for the team lead in doubles with 10 for the Astros. This fellow's a very strong and accomplished hitter. Strike on the outside corner. A good look at Davis, 25 years old.
He's got a brother that's a pretty good pitcher.
Storm Davis.
Wouldn't it be something if they faced one another in the All-Star game sometime?
That's low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It'd be pretty tough to hit a home run off your brother, wouldn't it? Or to strike him out. That's what they'll be trying to do, though.
Number 1 pick for the Astros in the January '81 draft from Jacksonville, Florida.
Has anybody ever hit a home run off their brother in the big leagues, Jay?
Well,
yeah, they have.
You think so? I'm
positive.
You're positive. You were there.
No, I wasn't there, but Negro hit a home run off of Negro.
Ah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-0. Home run by Doran. Reynolds is at first with 1 out. As Houston breaks on top. Slapped out to Ozzie. Get 1, and that's all they get. So Davis reaches on the fielder's choice.
He made him reach for the ball. Everybody else has hit the ball in the air thus far. A home run, a single, and a fly out. But when you make a guy reach for a breaking ball, you usually get him to hit it on the ground.
Cruz, who reached base last night on a 4th-inning walk, has walked 11 times this season. He's been the starting Astro left fielder, of course. And this one looks to be in the gap in left.
That'll drive the runner home.
And Reynolds is going to score, and it's going to be 2-0. Or I should say Davis scores, and it's 2-0. And listen to them yell for Cruz. Cruz was 0 for 6 in this series, Mike, until he blasted this one.
Well, Burris has made 3 mistakes, and all 3 of them have been base hits. Cardinals got a bad break as that ball just hit the top of the wall. As you see Davis, who does not run well, chug around to home. That ball bounces over. It would have been 2nd and 3rd.
It is 2-0. And here is Kevin Bass batting at .280. He's 3 for 8 in the series. 16 runs batted in and 5 home runs.
Well, this guy's developed and turned himself into a fine hitter.
He really has.
He's hitting 10 straight games now, Jay. And he's hitting 15 straight games here in his home ballpark.
Came to Houston in the Don Sutton deal in August of '82. Cruz out there at second. Time called, and we'll pause for station identification on the St. Louis Cardinals television network.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This is KLJB TV Davenport.
And this pitch is just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Kevin Bass blossomed as a regular last season. Plays pretty good defense and solid at the bat from Redwood City, California. That's low. 3-0. Burris has been behind a lot of these hitters here in the opening inning. Kevin Bass hitting .295 against, or .296 against right-handers. And that's a walk. The first pass given up by Burris. That'll put runners at first and second with 2 out, and an opportunity for Terry Poole. Poole playing for the first time in the series. Poole in right tonight. 29-year-old Canadian. Boy, he had so many injuries last season. He was on the disabled list for 96 days. A .299 lifetime hitter against the Cardinals. Doran and Davis have scored. Doran homering to start this one for Houston, and then Davis scoring on the double by Cruz. And the Cardinals get Rick Owenby up and throwing in the bullpen. And this is foul outside of third. Well, these Astros are swinging the bat pretty good. There's Pat Perry protecting Owenby as that ball came down the line. One strike on Terry Poole with 2 on, 2 out, and 2 runs home for Houston in the first. Changeup is high. Last time that Poole was in action was May 31st against Montreal. He started 26 games this season, all in right field. Jack Clark gets to the bag in time. 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 are left. After 1 in the dome. Houston has the lead 2-0. Herb, Pendleton, and Smith coming up for the Cardinals. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the St. Louis National Baseball Club Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Cardinals and Major League Baseball is prohibited. With Mike Shannon and Jack Buck, Jay Randolph here in the Dome, and Tommy Herr will start things in the second inning for the Redbirds. Tommy 1 for 6 in this series and a 175 batting average. 13 runs batted in and a home run. Herr has appeared in 727 games at second base for the Cardinals. That's the 6th highest total for any St. Louis second sacker. 47 games behind little Miller Huggins. And a strike right down the middle. He's walked 24 times already this year, on a pace for a career high 83 on the season, but has had a very rugged time at the bat after a sensational start last season. 1 ball and 1 strike. San Diego still leading the Mets. They're in the 5th inning. It's 2-0. Cincinnati leads Chicago 2-0. They're in the 7th. Montreal 2-1 over San Francisco in the 7th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. LA 2, Philadelphia 7. Dodgers batting in the 5th inning at the Vet in Philadelphia. Herr fouls it away. The Astros in first place. In the National League's West, and they're getting ready to go on the road. Into center field. Kevin Bass is there. 1 out. Here's Pendleton. Terry's batting .216, 3 for 9 in the series. Boston leading the American League East by 4.5 games now over the New York Yankees. Texas a half a game lead over California and 1 game over Kansas City starting tonight's play. Houston with a 1.5 game lead over San Francisco with that 28-21 record. And that's in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. New York is 32-14 to lead the National League East, 6.5 up on Montreal. And Mike Scott throwing out Pendleton, and they're 2 gone. Ozzie Smith 10 for 21, 476 over his last 6 games. And Ozzie has reached base by a hit or a walk in 39 of 46 games. Ozzie's a .418 career hitter against Houston. And he pops it up. The shortstop, Reynolds, makes the play, and the Cardinals go down 1-2-3. And after an inning and a half, the Astros lead it. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. 0-0-0 for the Birds. Bailey, Scott, and Doran due up.
This is KLJB TV Davenport.
I'd like to remind you that Channel 5 will be airing Saturday afternoon's matchup between the Cards and the Cubs from Busch Stadium. Then Sunday the 15th, we'll have action from Wrigley Field to continue that Cardinal-Cub rivalry for you.
Well, I know one fan we have in St. Louis. That's Doris Williams.
Yes,
we have her son down there. Alex
is always here helping us in the booth. He's from University City. Mark Bailey leading it off in the second inning as the Astros lead it 2-0, and he's batting 185 as Bailey 1 for 6 in this series. Strike on the outside corner. Bailey singled in the third and lined out 2 other times last night. Hit the ball hard. Hit safely in 5 of his last 7. Saw him make a good throw trying to get Coleman in the first inning. He's thrown out 19 of 51 runners this season. It's a good gun. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouled away, and that hurt. Hit him right on the toe. He's a big one.
Yeah, that baseball hits you on the toe. It brings you down to size.
Yes, sir. 24 years old from Springfield, Missouri. He got the job here last year when Alan Ashby was injured, and he's done the bulk of the catching since then. That's high, 3-2. And Burroughs has thrown a lot of pitches as he's been behind a good deal.
Yeah, he's gotten the ball up tonight too, Jay. He's a ground ball pitcher. We've had only the 2 ground balls.
Oh boy, was that hard hit, but foul down the right side.
And again, he has to pitch. He's much more effective when he pitches in front on the count rather than behind. If you have to come in 3-2, 3-1 with the fastball and you don't get it perfect, a fellow like Burris, you're going to give up the long ball and the base hit.
Got the strikeout. His first. Bailey went for one that was down low. And we'll get a look at Mike Scott. Here's that pitch to Bailey a moment ago.
The old sinker.
Scott has an RBI and is batting .040. Three finals to report to you. Pittsburgh beat Atlanta 12-3. As this will play for Pendleton.
That ball got in the lights on him. We have a replay of that. You'll see him right at the last second as he's going back, retreating on the ball and playing it off to his left. It's a high hop, and he looked up in the lights. Watch him at the last second. See him turn his head away from the ball? Good play.
A hand for Bill Doran, who homered to start the game for the Astros. Those other 2 finals, Kansas City beat Milwaukee 8-6 and Detroit 8-5 over Oakland. Outside, ball 1. Doran's been a player who's improved, it seems to me, Mike, each year over the past couple of seasons.
Well, there are so many good second basemen in the league, Jay. We've got probably a strong flight of second baseman in the National League that they've had in a long while, and maybe we'll have in quite a few years to come.
This is sky high, or dome high, I guess we ought to say. And Ozzie makes the play, and Burris gets the Astros 1-2-3 in the second inning. After 2, Houston 2, St. Louis nothing. Heath, Burris, and Coleman 2 for the Birds.
Well, look at that little item. It's hot off the presses. You can get one if you come to the ballpark on June the 27th. It's Budweiser Can Wrap Night, and the first 30,000 fans aged 21 and over with a paid admission get a free red nylon can wrap with the Velcro closure. They were very popular last year, so make sure you're out there early. Budweiser Can Wrap Night. It's Friday, June the 27th. We'll be taking on the Phillies. It's brought to you by Budweiser and KSTK. Mike Heath leads it off for the Cardinals here in the third. 2-0 Houston, as Mike Scott is trying to pitch back-to-back shutouts. He's only 4-4 record-wise on the season. Last year he beat the Cardinals twice, 2-0, and lifetime he's 4-4. But he is a new pitcher because of a pitch called the forkball. He learned it from Roger Craig prior to Roger being named the San Francisco manager. And here, lo and behold, these two clubs are battling for first place in the Western Division, as Craig is now the San Francisco manager. He may regret teaching this young man that split-fingered delivery, the forkball. Beats him out for the Western Division flag. Good fastball to Heath, out of play, and it's 1-2 on the count. 2 strikeouts tonight for the big right-hander. No walks. He's hit a man. He hit Vince Coleman in the first, and then the Cardinal speedster swiped second and third. That'll play for the third baseman, Dennis Walling. And he gets the Cardinal catcher. 7 in a row retired by Mike Scott. He leads the major leagues in strikeouts. And that includes that big, hard throwing right-hander over in the American League. He's setting the American League on fire. Shows you the kind of company this kid, Mike Scott, is keeping. Well, Burris has been a big slugger since being called up from Louisville. In 3 starts in succession for the Cardinals, he doubled his first time at the dish. The first 2 times he did it, the bases were loaded, and he cleared those bases. But he'll be retired 5-3 for the second out here in the Cardinal third. 8 in a row now retired by Scott. We're home tomorrow night against the Chicago Cubs. This game time at Busch Stadium. Bob Forsch, the Cardinal right-hander, who's probably been as consistent, if not more consistent, than any other Redbird hurler, will be on the hill at 7:35. Vince is the only man to reach against Scott tonight, and he was hit by a pitch. Strike called by the home plate umpire. Crawford and Vince didn't agree. Nobody on, 2 down. Third inning action, the Houston Astrodome. The Cardinals are trying to win their 5th in a row. But they'll have a tough job with this guy on the mound. There's that forkball. It really drops. It goes down hard. And as you can see, Vince is doing a little better from the other side of the dish. 1, 2, 3. The Redbirds are easy, and that is 9 in a row. Retired by Mike Scott. After 2.5, Houston's on top 2-0.
I want to remind you, later in the game we'll have the McDonald's scoreboard as we update you on the National League action, and right now we are set to move to the bottom of the third inning.
Folks at McDonald's still sending those Big Macs over to the house for you for mentioning that every night.
Wonderful, wonderful.
This is the shortstop, Craig Reynolds. He's singled and fouls the first one off. I don't know why he doesn't play every night against the Cardinals with those kind of statistics. Yeah, if you hit safely 3 times in 4 trips, they usually move you off the dish, and that's what Burris did. 1-1 the count. This is not a practice game. This is a real game. You hear no crowd noise.
Very little, anyway. I'll tell you, this...
More noise on the dome with the rain beating down on the outside. They need to revitalize the fans down here in Texas. This is the 150th birthday of the state of Texas, and it's also the 25th anniversary of the Houston Astros.
The Astros have new ownership, and there's been some talk that they could end up in the nation's capital if people don't start turning out down here, since their new owner is from the Washington area.
Jay, I think that there may be more than one shift of franchises when the major leagues decide that they're going to expand. Here's a shot to Hurt. 1 down. Reynolds hit it right on the nose, but right at Tom Hurt. Let's see where this pitch is. High fastball. You throw high fastballs, and they better be a 90 plus, or you'll get one hit that hard most of the time. Dennis Walling has hit safely in 8 of his last 11 games, and during those 11 games, he's batted .378. He flied into right field his first time. He and Garner platoon at third base. Garner being right-handed and Walling left-handed, hitting at the plate. And you see the Cardinal catcher there, Mike Heath, motioning to Ray Burris, the veteran, to get on top. He did on that delivery, and he gets the foul. Good sinker low and away.
This fellow's always hit pretty well against the Cardinals. Played his collegiate ball at Clemson University.
Who had just missed in there. And you might expect now that Burris and Heath will try to go back outside, or they'll try to throw the breaking ball. Let's see. Let's watch for the signal there. Curveball outside, and it's hard to pull that curveball when it's outside. Usually when you do pull it, you hit it on the ground, and that's exactly what Walling accomplished. Something you wish you wouldn't. But they've been doing it in this game for 100 years. Since the general and Abner sat down one night and said, well, gin rummy game's no more fun. Let's invent a new one. Then they consulted Jennings Randolph, and they invented the game of baseball. Good breaking ball. Of course, there's some debate on who really did invent it, but I'm staying with Abner Doubleday. There's always those folks trying to horn in on the action after you have something good going, isn't there? Oh, I knew about that. I thought about that 5 years before they did it. Amazing thing about this game of baseball, Jay, is the fact that when they laid it out better than 100 years ago, it's basically the same. Bases are the same distance. It just seems to survive and get better each day. Herr will throw out Davis, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Cardinal hurler. And now Burris is retired 7 in a row, so both hurlers settling down. We've played 3 full innings, and the Astros have the best of it thus far, 2-0.
Well, we move into the 4th inning. The Astros lead it 2-0. And to the microphone, here's Jack Buck.
Well, this pitcher has retired 9 in a row. McGee popped out his first time, and he will be followed by Van Slyke and Clark. This pitcher has retired 9 in a row. Burris has retired 7 in a row. That's not why I tuned in tonight, Jay. Here is one off the foot of McGee, but they say it is not a foul ball, and he is out. Well, McGee doesn't argue about it. I thought perhaps it went off his foot as it went back to the pitcher. That's 10 in a row retired. Well, by Mike Scott. He was hurting. McGee hurt himself a little bit when he swung the bat. Let's watch what happened here. The ball right in on him.
Couldn't tell whether it went off of him or not from that view.
He got all tangled up. Scott won 18 games last year. Not many people paid much attention to that.
Well, he's the new ace down here, as I mentioned early on in the telecast.
And leading the league in strikeouts. 2 here tonight, 90 on the year, and a victim was Van Slyke in the first, and the pitch is off the plate, ball 1. Van Slyke left the runner at third with 1 out in the first inning. Then Houston went right to work on Ray Burris and got a couple of runs. That's a foul ball, 1-1.
Reminder, later in the game, we'll be giving the Midas Touch Award to the outstanding player in tonight's action, a donation to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital in St. Louis.
The Mets have caught San Diego 2-2 6th inning, and they're still batting. They knocked out Eric Shaw, and McCullers is pitching now for the Padres. Low with that forkball that Scott came up with last year, and a lot of people accuse him of tampering with the ball, scuffing it, scraping it,
sandpapering it,
all sorts of things. But he doesn't look like one who would cheat, does he? And Slyke will be easy for Kevin Bass once he gets there. That's 8 in a row. Pretty good player there, Bass. He can play center field. Switch hitter, has some power. He went and got it. The ball was away, and Van Slyke went with it. And he doesn't have an awful lot of power to the opposite field. Bass in full stride when he took it down, the 11th put out in a row by the Houston club. Cardinals had only 3 hits last night. Do you remember that?
I do remember it.
And how many tonight?
Zip.
None. Clark struck out his first time. Ball 2. Child's play for this pitcher. Nothing to it.
Well, he's very talented. The Cardinals had an opportunity to break through in the first, and as you mentioned, Jack didn't. And he's tough.
Clark took a strike. This pitcher was acquired by Houston in exchange for Danny Heap with the New York Mets. Houston got the better of that one. Fastball grounded to short to Reynolds. That's 12 in a row. Bottom of the 4th rolling around. First up will be Jose Cruz, and after 3.5, 2-0, home club.
Well, of all of you St. Elsewhere watchers will be happy to hear Channel 5 will be carrying tonight's episode on Sunday, June 8th, 10:30. That's right here on Channel 5.
Jose Cruz hit the first pitch for a double into left center in the first inning and drove in a run. And Ray Burris throws high, and Jose chased it. Foul tip. Cruz, Bass, and Poole. There's one for Ozzie. Jose is out, and that's 8 in a row by the Cardinal hurler. He got off to the slow start here. There's Ozzie. You know, he gets out here early and takes that infield practice. The fans, unfortunately, can't see it in St. Louis because it occurs before the gates are open. But on the road, you can, and some of the fans get to watch him. His work habits are terrific. He puts almost everybody else to shame.
He's a real pro, isn't he?
Bass walked his first time. The Houston center fielder. And ball 1. That's what Burris was not doing in the first inning, getting some of those hitters off the plate. And it's not that you're going to frighten them or anything, but you just can't let them stand there and swing from the toes. He just got out of the way of that one. And now ball 2 outside. Kevin Bass has hit 5 home runs, 2 against the Cardinals, batting .280. Ball 3. Heath couldn't handle it. .3-0. Bass will swing on 3-0. He's that kind of hitter. Ball 4, and he walks for the second time. That snaps the string, and this fella can steal a base. He has swiped 7. And with Terry Poole, a left-handed batter up there, makes it a more difficult play for the catcher. They've played 6 innings at New York, and the Padres are tied 2-2. Cincinnati and Browning beat Chicago 2-0 tonight. Earlier, Pittsburgh nailed Atlanta 12-3. Ball 1 outside. After 6 at Philly. The Phils 8, the Dodgers 2. Dodger pitching giving up a lot of runs. This was Hershiser tonight.
Yep.
And the Giants lead now 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th at Montreal. Kevin Bass draws the throw. Cardinals picked up ground on everybody in the Eastern Division with their victory here last night. Trailed 2-0 here in the 4th, 1 on, 1 out. Runner at first, not going. The Cardinals pitch out. Well, it would have been a good play if the runner had been stealing, but he wasn't. Two balls, no strikes the count. Bass still not going, and Poole chops it foul. Poole left 2 men on when he grounded out to first. You see that little coach down there at first base is only about 5'7", Matt Gallant. Spent a lot of years in the minor leagues. Houston gave him a chance to operate on the big league level. 2 balls and a strike, and Houston may do some running here. That runner's going to go, Jay. I'm telling you. Telling you. 1 on, 1 out. Not going, and a foul. Wrong again. 2-2. Should have been going, though. Perhaps they want Terry Poole to pull the ball through that hole through the right side, but you don't see that many pure pull hitters these days who take advantage of that hitting space. Now the runner's going, and there's a long one, foul. Foul ball out into right. Well, he popped that one way back up in the seats. 1 on, 1 out. Houston has had 3 hits, 2 walks. Scored 2, left 2, and have a man on base. Burris, a record of 2-1, a loser his last time out at Cincy. Will the runner go again? No. And a swing and a miss at that fork ball, I think it was. And that gives the Cardinal pitcher his 2nd strikeout. Watch the action of this pitch. Watch the catcher's glove. Oop, that thing really went down, didn't it? The batter is Mark Bailey, the catcher. He was the first strikeout victim. A similar pitch fanned him back in the 2nd inning. Ball blocked by Heath. There's Bass being held by Clark. They say it's always 72 degrees here in the dome. Burris working up a sweat.
We had some rain here this afternoon, didn't we?
Oh, boy. Poured down, and they had some treacherous rains in San Antonio, Texas. There goes the runner again, and the throw by Heath is bad. And a stolen base. Heath was nowhere near the target. And that for Bass is his 8th stolen base. A good ball to handle. You could see that there was ample time had the throw been on target to get the runner. Now they're going to walk Bailey and work to the pitcher. This will be the 3rd pass given up by Burris. But even if Houston doesn't score here in this 4th inning, that puts their #1 hitter up there in the 5th rather than the pitcher leading off. And who knows? This pitcher who's driven in 1 run this year might help himself. He's big enough to hit, but he's not a very good hitter. Is he?
Nope.
So I want you to join in with me, because when we're wrong, I want us to
both be wrong.
both be wrong.
All right.
He's had a number of hits, 36 hits in the big leagues. Swinging a fly ball into center for McGee. The inning's over. 2 walks, 2 left. Houston has left 4. First up for the Cardinals, Tom Herr, going into the 5th inning. 2-0 Houston.
Want to remind you about some upcoming special promotions at Busch Stadium, St. Louis. The 27th is Budweiser KSDK Can Wrap Night. The 29th will be Cooler Bag Day. AM Radio Night is the 30th. July 19th is Baseball Day. Camera Day, always a very, very nice opportunity for you to get some pictures of the Redbirds. July 20th. Visor Day is July the 26th. Right now, the Cardinals would like to get some runs, Mr. Buck.
Well, how about a hit rather than a run?
That's a start.
This pitcher retired 12 in a row and has a no-hitter going. He walked Coleman to start the game. He was left on. And now 12 in a row have been retired. The batter is Tom Herr. Fly to center his first time. Got a pretty good swing against Scott. First pitch, a ball. Scott a record of 4-4, but he's pitching better than that here tonight. Mr. Jim Crane is here, former St. Louisan with Anheuser-Busch. Watching the game, rooting for the Cardinals. A foul by Herr.
Always nice to see him.
Scott has an earned run average of 2.84. He's been tagged for 7 home runs. He has 100 strikeouts for the year. A little poke into left goes foul by Herr. And Mr. Ted Harris,
Formerly of the Chicago Bears.
famous for his Chicago Bears days. By the way, did you ask, see, they're going to name a street up in Chicago for Herb Cupson.
Hey,
Did you know about that?
no, I didn't.
One of the leading citizens of Chicago. I guess Harry Carey will be next, huh?
Well, let's hope so.
Here's the foul off the fist. And Herr is in the hole, 1-2. We're in the 5th inning, 2-0 Houston.
Mark Lynch and Dennis Garwood. Linda here from St. Louis, rooting on the Cardinals, vacationing in the Houston area, enjoying the rain.
High and away to Herr. Jerry Crawford, the plate umpire. His plate umpire's dad, whom they called Shags, was a long-time National League umpire and a good one.
Yes, he was.
Scott with a 2-2 count. Threw it right by him. That's 13 in a row. And the 3rd strikeout for Scott, giving him 101. You could see a little bit of movement on the ball as he got it by Tom Herr. See him moving away from the batter.
Pretty impressive stuff from Mike Scott.
That's 13 in a row, and Pendleton will try to get the first Cardinal hit. He rapped back to the mound his first time. Ball one high. They're in the bottom of the 7th in New York with the Padres tied 2-2. The Reds nailed the Cubs tonight 2-0. Pittsburgh won at Atlanta 12-3. Pendleton grounds it foul. Giants have a 4-2 lead in the 9th at Montreal, and after 6, the Phillies 8 and the Dodgers 5. Kansas City defeated Milwaukee 8-6. Detroit won at Oakland 8-5. Canseco hit another home run for Oakland, but they lost. Minnesota is winning big at Toronto 10-2, 7th inning. Nothing yet on the Yankee-California game. Bellin looks at one.
Good pitch. Caught the outside corner.
Texas leading 3-2 in the 6th inning at Chicago. After 6 at Baltimore, Seattle 4, the Orioles 1, and after 7, Boston winning again, 5-3 over Cleveland. Was that a terrible pitch? That's the same kind of ball that Van Slyke fanned on earlier. That's the 4th strikeout for Scott, 14 in a row. And if that pitch wasn't up around his chin,
might have been even higher than his chin.
Might have been even higher than that. 14 in a row by Scott. Ozzie popped out his first time. Went after the first pitch. He took this one, ball 1. Ozzie's average .315 at the moment. This Houston club leaves after the game and they go to Los Angeles. Cardinals are home and they play 4 against the Cubs and 3 against Montreal. Then we go to Chicago. We have a doubleheader up there. It's a long road trip. Will you be with us some of the time?
I will indeed. Yes, I'll be in Chicago and in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
2-0 to Smith with 2 out. The pitch was up high and he fouled it back. Looked like Ozzie was trying to spin one out of here, didn't it?
Well, he wants to do something if he can to get it going.
Mike Heath waits on deck.
Ozzie had been 4 for 7 in this series coming into tonight.
He just strokes it in the center, made it look easy. With 2 out, he gets the first Cardinal hit. Well, if Mike Heath can hit one out, we'll be tied. On the other hand,
if he can't, we won't.
You're right. Ozzie gets the first Cardinal hit. Cardinals had only 3 hits and winning last night. Heath grounded out his first time. He has 2 home runs. And a foul. I don't think Ozzie will do much running. This pitcher, first of all, scores 2-0. You don't want to take the bat out of Heath's hand. But this pitcher has a very good pickoff move. And Bailey, the catcher, has been throwing some people out. Heath inspects the bat. Ozzie on at first with 2 out. He has stolen 10 bases. We're in the middle portion of the game, top of the 5th. Bob Forsch will open the Cubs series tomorrow night at home against Dennis Eckersley. There goes Ozzie. I was wrong, but a swing and a foul by Heath, and that's strike 2. Ozzie did that here the other night. He got the ball club going. We were behind, and he was on base and stole a base, and good things happened after that. Strike 2 on Heath. Now this pitcher is in a spot to strike out the side. He got him. With that forkball of his, he struck out the side. He has 5 in the game. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. The Cardinals have left 2. We go into the bottom of the 5th inning. And the top of the order for the Astros, who lead 2-0.
Well, we have a controversy here. Last night, you mentioned that Storm Davis and young Mr. Davis here, Glenn Davis, were brothers. Then I got a call.
I want to tell you something before you go any further.
Yes, sir.
When this conversation is over, my last line is going to be,
yes,
I don't really care.
You don't care, but his mother cares, I think.
Everybody talked about he and Storm Davis being brothers. Then we found out.
They said we got word today that they were stepbrothers, right?
Yeah.
And now Mrs. Davis is called the Astrodome.
Which Mrs. Davis?
This one. The one in Jacksonville.
The mother of the Houston player.
She's called everywhere.
Says she doesn't even know the other kid.
Well, and we hear that they live together, so I don't know. Well, the two Davises. So
not the mother.
No, but
not the guy from Baltimore with his mother.
They're not related.
That's
Jack.
not what you said.
We're going to update this matter. They're not related. And
Okay,
Mrs.
you ready
Davis,
for my last line?
Go ahead, Jack.
I don't really care if they're brothers or not.
All right, Mrs. Davis, thanks for the phone call.
Did she call collect?
I don't know.
She should have. I don't blame her. Here's Bill Doran, and Ray Burris throws outside ball 1. 2-0 Houston in the 5th. They about hit the Cardinals 3-1. Doran started the Houston first with a homer, his second of the year. He pops this one up, and he'll be 1 for 3. Here comes McGee. And there is 1 out. Funny how stories like that get started.
It's amazing. Didn't I read that in the Sporting News? Something about their being related. I don't know, but I read it somewhere, and I know you mentioned it last night, and I mentioned it again this evening. But
when he comes up in either this inning or the next, we're not even going to mention it. The batter is Reynolds. Strike 1. Reynolds is singled and lined out to second base. Is Mrs. Davis really upset?
Well, I hope she's not upset. I mean, you know, sometimes you make mistakes, and sometimes stories do get out.
I like to upset women. I
hope she doesn't send us a bill for all the phone calls. That's all. We're a little short on the budget.
1 ball, 1 strike to Reynolds. That is this fellow's name, isn't it? Reynolds?
Yep. Craig.
We're not really into genealogy. That's not our bag here, you know. Somebody tells us something, we repeat it. 1-1 to Reynolds with 1 out. Burris has not allowed a hit since the first inning when he gave up 3. They got an off-speed pitch in there to the Houston shortstop. He's been platooned with Dickie Thon. His batter, a big high school star here in Houston. Traded away and then came back again. A little looper, and that is going to be Clark's business, and there are 2 out. 2 men gone for Denny Walling, and Storm Davis on deck.
And we'll
or is
pause.
that Glenn Davis?
Oh, no, that's Glenn. Let's pause for station identification while we contemplate this matter. This is the St. Louis Cardinals Television Network.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This is KLJB TV Davenport.
Denny Walling watches 1 stay outside. He's 0 for 2. Fly to right, grounded to second.
The Dodgers have tied up the Phillies 8-8 in the 7th.
They were way behind. Up the middle. That's going to go through. A base hit, the first one for Houston since the first inning. He just hit a nice easy swing and got it by Burris. And Herr was playing him to pull the ball. He had pulled the ball twice previously. And here's Glenn Davis. This fella has 10 home runs. He's 0 for 2 in this game. You make a mistake to him, he can lose it. He can hammer the ball. Up and in, ball 1. He'll end up with 30 or more this year. One of the future sluggers, and already a well-established slugger in the game. Walling is not fast. He's the runner on at first. Ball 2. San Diego's tied 2-2 in the 8th inning at New York. The Cardinals have their own problems in this one. Bottom of the 5th, 2-0 Houston. A tough cookie at the plate, and he waited for that breaking ball and hammered it foul past third. Runner back to first. That's Walling. Clark holds against Walling, but he probably won't be going anywhere. Foul ball, 2-2. The ball jumped into and then out of the Cardinal dugout. 2-2. Waiting on deck is Jose Cruz. Houston has a pretty good lineup. They haven't changed it much, but this fellow's presence has changed the club considerably. Half swing at a bad ball. They say he held up. They asked the first base umpire, and he says no, he didn't swing. He came close to swinging, I'll tell you that. It's a full count of 3-2. Watch. Could have called him out, couldn't it? Now the runner will go off of first. Will they let him swing at a fastball, or will he take a chance on a 3-2 breaking pitch? He walked him. So a walk and a single brings up Cruz. That's the fourth pass given up by Burris. One an intentional walk, and they go to work in the Cardinal bullpen. 2 on, 2 out, and that's Pat Perry warming up. Cruz has doubled, driven in a run, and grounded to short. You don't want him to get a hit the way ball one. You don't want him to get a hit the way Scott has been pitching for Houston tonight, and the way the Cardinals have not been hitting. 2-0 is bad enough. They play Jose to pull just a bit. He'll go the other way with the ball. He swings and lines it into left center for a hit to make it 3-0. Don't bother, Vince.
Well, Cruz was 0 for 6 coming into this game tonight in the series, and he's done the job.
He went down and got that one and picks up the 5th Houston hit to make it 3-0. The other runner, Davis, stopped at second base as Walling scored.
All of this happening with 2 out.
Base hit, a walk, and a base hit. Here's Kevin Bass. He's a switch hitter. And that keeps Perry in the bullpen. Bass has walked twice, stolen a base. He goes the other way. Now Coleman has a chance, although the runner had a good lead, and the throw is way offline, and that makes it 4-0. Davis scores, and a base hit by Bass. That pitch was away, and Bass went with it.
And you said Coleman had a shot, but what a very, very poor throw this was.
He usually throws rather well, but this one took Heath way up the line, and it brought Herzog out of the dugout. Terry Poole is the batter. The Cardinal pitcher is due to lead off in the 6th inning, so he's going to make a double change. Pat Barry's going to come in out of the bullpen. And what's the other change he's going to make?
Let's see.
He might change catchers. We'll wait and see. We'll take a little break. There's a pause in the action here in the Astrodome in Houston.
New Cardinal catcher is Mike LaValliere. As Jack indicated, manager Whitey Herzog makes the double switch, and LaValliere will bat in the number 9 spot. Perry will bat in the number 8 spot, as Heath is out of the game, LaValliere behind the plate, and Perry is on the hill.
And Terry Poole at the dish. He grounded out and struck out earlier against Burris, who pitched 4 2/3, gave 4 runs, 6 hits. Struck out 3, walked 4, 1 intentionally. This 2-out rally was started on a base hit up the middle by Walling, a walk to Davis on a 3-2 pitch after a half swing. Cruz an RBI single, Bass an RBI single, and Poole up there now. He left a couple of men on in the 1st inning, and Pat Perry falls behind 2-0.
Perry last appeared in the game Sunday at Cincinnati, went 1 2/3.
They hit some line drives off him over there. Houston could blow it wide open. They had 2 in the first, 2 here in the 5th, 2 on, 2 out. On the corner.
Perry, in 3 appearances, 5 1/3 since his recall from Louisville, is not allowed a run. He has given up only 11 hits in 15 2/3 innings this year.
He and LaValliere are working together. Cruz, the runner, at second. Bass at first, and a foul. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runs home in the inning. Houston has out-hit the Cards 6-1. They're in the bottom of the 8th at New York. San Diego's tied 2-2. And the Dodgers and the Phillies are 8-8 in the 8th. Reds beat the Cubs. Giants beat Montreal. Pirates beat the Braves. 2-2 the count. Ozzie, force out. Closes the book on Burris. But 2 more Houston runs. They'll be tough to get back on 3 hits and 2 left. They've left a half a dozen. And after 5, it's 4-0 in favor of the home club. First of all, they've changed that Dodgers score. It's 8-7. The Phillies still leading in the 8th. They had it tied up on the board. But it's Philadelphia leading by a run. And here for the Cardinals, just into the game, Mike LaValliere. He'll lead it off, and followed by Coleman and McGee for the Cards, who have only 1 hit plus a walk, only 2 runners. And Scott has a 4-0 lead. This fellow, by the way, has only 1 complete game this year. They have a good bullpen. They get past a couple more innings and bring Dave Smith in. It's really double tough. Ball 1 to LaValliere.
Lifelong Cardinal fans, Jim and Paula Brink, are here tonight rooting for the Cardinals.
Up high to Mike, and it's ball 2. 1 walk and 1 hit. That's the Cardinal offense so far this evening. Scott knocked 1 down the middle, and it's 2-1. Thinking of knocking 1 down the middle, you played pretty well today, huh? Just before the rain.
We beat the rain today.
2-2. And you shot 69?
No. 75. Gracious.
2-2 to LaValliere. This guy's a tough pitcher. Foul ball out of play.
June 11th, as the Cardinals will meet Montreal in a game on Wednesday night at Busch Stadium at 7:35. St. Charles Boys Club night. For tickets, contact the Boys Club of Greater St. Charles. It's also Alton Godfrey, Illinois night. For ticket information, Michael Drake at the Alton Banking and Trust Company, or Don Johnson at DJ's. Also on the 11th, Missouri Elks night. And for ticket information, you can contact Ray Stewart at High Ridge, Missouri. Hope to see you all at Busch Stadium on June 11th.
They have a lot of Elks in High Ridge.
I imagine they do.
LaValliere just got a piece of it. This pitcher, Scott, has struck out 5. Leads the National League in strikeouts. If you ask somebody who's the strikeout leader, they'd probably say Gooden or Valenzuela.
That's right.
But it's Scott, who won 18 last year.
Gone about his business very quietly, and it's been good business.
A hit for LaValliere. It's the Cardinals' 2nd of the evening. Well, maybe that 1 complete game figure will jump up and catch this pitcher. Looked like that last pitch was up a little bit as LaValliere singled.
It was. We call him Smokey. He had a rip at it, didn't he?
Good follow through on that swing and a leadoff hit. It's the 2nd time in the game Cardinals have put their leadoff man on. Coleman has walked, stolen 2 bases, giving him 30 for the year. He's 0 for 1, grounded to second. And a high bouncer and a good break. And LaValliere is going to go on to third, and that's a good break too, because he's not a fast runner. First and third, nobody out. You know, had he had to stop at second base, Jay, a base hit might not have gotten him home.
That's right.
An AstroTurf job here. Big high bouncer, and Davis couldn't get to it. Now the Cardinals have 3 hits, and the batter is McGee. On deck, Van Slyke. They stir down in the Houston dugout, but nothing doing in the bullpen. Infielders will be back looking for 2. McGee has had a tough series here. There goes Coleman, and the throw is high, and that's 3 for the night for Coleman, who has stolen 31. Now a base hit cuts the lead in half. I didn't even think that Bailey was going to bother to throw. Reynolds was keeping an eye on LaValliere, the runner at third. And ball 1 to McGee as the Cards make some noise here in the 6th inning. And a foul. 1-1. So Smokey got it started. What will come of it? And they call LaValliere Smokey because it looks like Smokey Burgess, he used to catch in the National League for so long. Willie, really late, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's LaValliere at third.
Smokey Burgess was a swarthy guy. Had a fine career at Pittsburgh.
And there's Coleman at second. McGee wants to avoid the strikeout. It's up high, and it is 2-2.
Boston wins again, Jack. They beat Cleveland 6-4.
They are now 21 games over 500, and they'll stay at least 4.5 ahead of New York.
John McNamara's club playing up a storm.
2-2 to Willie. Come on, Will. And a line drive off the pitcher's glove. 1 run scores. First and third, nobody out. What a break that was. Pitcher could have caught it. Should have caught it. Whenever there's a ball hit back to the mound, the pitcher first rocks back on his heels, thinks that it's hit harder than it is. And he reached for it, got a piece of it, and then Reynolds got a piece of it. Wouldn't have had a play anyhow, and it's a 4-1 game.
McGee picks up his 21st RBI of the year.
LaValliere crosses the plate. Coleman goes to third, and the batter is Van Slyke. He's the tying run, and there they go in the Houston bullpen. Van Slyke has struck out and flied out. Larry Anderson, the longtime Philadelphia pitcher, getting ready in the Houston bullpen. Now McGee is a threat to run. He has stolen 5 bases this year. It's not automatic, though, with this pitcher and catcher, I'll tell you that. Scott has a good move, and Bailey has a good arm. There goes McGee. The pitch is a strike, and he is safe. Second and third, nobody out, so the Cardinals are running despite the deficit. They've stolen 4 bases here tonight. There went McGee. Didn't have a long lead. Bailey's throw was short. And a strike on Van Slyke. He could make it a 1-run game with a base hit. Infielders are back and the outfielders to the right. Scott will work off the stretch, as you see. Van Slyke is in the hole, strike 2. On deck, it's Clark. But the Cardinals wait until the 6th inning to score their first run. And Andy wants to hit the ball somewhere. Even a ground ball to the second baseman gets a runner home. Or a fly ball. Better yet, a base hit. Foul ball. 0-2. Needs a shave.
Looks like a refugee from Miami Vice.
0-2 the count. Chased the bad ball low and away and strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. That's his 6th strikeout. He really moved this ball outside, didn't he? Look at that ball run. Whew. Pretty good pitch.
Yes, it was.
Pretty good screwball from Scott. Now Clark is up. This rally is not going to end here, is it? Clark is struck out, grounded out. The infielder's still back. Ball one. On deck, it's her.
San Francisco beats Montreal. The final there 4-2.
Clark has driven in 16 runs. Home run ties it. It's 4-1 Houston, 6th inning. High, hard one, and Scott pumped it by him. 1-1. Clark shakes his head a bit and gets back in. The ball really ran that Scott threw to Van Slyke. Up and in. Coleman at third. McGee at second. Cards have been out hit 6-4. Trail 4-1. They have a base open. They may be willing to take their chances with her, even though Clark represents the tying run. Put that one in a good spot, and it's 2-2. That ball ran a little bit too.
You saw Clark ask the plate umpire, Jerry Crawford, if it was a strike.
In other words, was it in the strike zone? Looked like it was. 2-2. He chased a bad ball high and struck out, and that's 7 strikeouts for Scott. Watch the elevation of this pitch. That's way out of strike zone. The runners were at second and third with nobody out, and Van Slyke and Clark have fanned, and the batter is hurt. And Tom is 0 for 2. He fly to center, and he struck out. Now they have a base open. They could toy with him a little bit and try to get Pendleton. Her has driven in 13 runs this year. Well, you got to give the pitcher credit. Made some good pitches. Missed outside. The Cardinals sure have helped him out swinging at bad balls, but apparently the stuff that he has makes those pitches look good. There's hitting room up the middle for her. He could really pick the club up with a hit. It looked like he was overmatched on that one. Looked like a hard slider in on him. 1-1. Scott going to work after getting into trouble here in the 6th inning. He has 7 strikeouts in the game. Two and one. There's Coleman on at third with 2 out, and McGee running the bases at second. Her ahead on the count, 2 balls and a strike. Two and two. And now the pitcher is in a spot to strike out the side for the 2nd time tonight. See the concentration of the pitcher. He knows what he wants to do. 2-2 to her. He's got to be a spoiler up there. Can't take that 3rd strike. Stays the same. There screws that helmet back down on his head. He's up in the bat handle a little bit. 2 out and a 2-2 count. 3-2. Now this is where the pitcher has a big advantage with the base open. The base is loaded, while her would have a better idea of what to expect, but he could throw one out of the strike zone, make Tommy go fishing for it, flirt with the corner, throw that fork ball. 3-2. Bases are loaded for Pendleton. Lost him inside and issues his second walk of the night. He had walked Coleman to start the game. Now the tying runs are on base. Here comes Les Moss. That means they're not going to take him out. Moss just wants to talk to him. He's the pitching coach and a former St. Louis Browns catcher, Les Moss. He has absorbed some sunshine in his days.
Yes, he is.
He's what you call the grizzled veteran. Pendleton is tapped out and struck out. There's Hal Lanier. Base hit loaded and 2 out. Pendleton, no home runs for the year. 12 runs batted in. Well, I'll take either a grand slam or a little dunker someplace. Still off the stretch. A late swing and a foul. Pendleton still wears that guard on his right forearm, which he had broken one time. Strike one. You play him straight away, giving him some room up the middle and a little bit down the first base line. Way high. Strike 2. It looks like Pendleton's not going to do it unless this pitcher makes a mistake.
Yeah, this fellow Scott has the ability to draw down and get a little extra, doesn't he, in a situation that's like this.
He struck out 2 in the inning. The bases are loaded. 1-2. A little too much for the pitcher. Expect him to swing at that one. Single by LaValliere, single by Coleman, single by McGee. A couple of stolen bases in the inning. Then Van Slyke struck out. Clark struck out. Herr walked. One run, 3 hits, a walk, and 3 left for the Cardinals, who have left 5. And now this pitcher has 8 strikeouts, and he fanned the sides. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and Houston on top, 4-1.
They'll start it at 7:35. Take home that free AM radio.
Well, Pat Perry has to hold the Astros right where they are. Meanwhile, San Diego's batting in the 9th, and they trail the Mets 4-2. So we have a bad combination going. Mets winning 4-2, Cardinals losing 4-1, and Scott really threw the ball by people, didn't he?
He was extremely impressive. As you mentioned, Jack, I think his stuff was so good that some of those pitches that really looked so bad to us, obviously they fooled the Cardinal hitters.
First up is Mark Bailey, batting in the number 8 spot and facing Pat Perry. Perry came on and got the final out in the 5th, leaving 2 men stranded. He throws one in at the knees. Bottom of the 6th. Cards have been out hit 6-4. Those 2 runs the Astros got with 2 men out in the 5th inning really hurt. There's a walk in the middle of it. This ball is fielded by Pendleton. The runner is slow, and he is out as Terry guns it across. 1 out. And that brings up the pitcher. He's 0 for 2. This probably is the only inning they want from Perry. He's due to bat in the next inning. We might see Owenby or Barger warming up down there. Swing and a miss. Down at the end of the Cardinal dugout, Clint Hurdle is doing some calisthenics. He's an apparent pinch hitter for the Cardinals, who already have LaValliere in the game. Strike 2. Hurdle is down there, number 13. He's in the back of your picture. 1 man out here in this frame, and a swing and a miss gives Perry his first strikeout. 2 out. Perry will take on the leadoff hitter, Bill Doran. He started this game with a home run. That was a little warning of what was to happen here tonight.
He really hit that ball a long way, carried it into the seats in right center.
Doran was retired the next 2 times. With 2 out, 1 for Ozzie. What a play if he throws correctly. Out. The inning's over. What a play by Ozzie. What a play. He took a base hit away from Doran and got him on a bang-bang play at first. And now we've played 6 innings with Houston on top by the score of 4-1.
Ozzie Smith will lead it off as we move into the 7th inning. Astros 4-1. About hit the Cardinals 6-4. Neither side has committed an error. And here again is Mike Shannon.
Well, Mr. Scott played a little hardball in the last inning. We'll have to see how much that 6th inning took out of him, Jay, and whether he'll be able to complete this ball game. He gets the first one into Ozzie Smith. Ozzie has 1 of the 4 Cardinal hits tonight. And boy, has he turned into a good hitter, swinging a foul.
Phillies beat Los Angeles 8-7. That's a final.
Boy, that Philadelphia club, they've won what? 8 out of their last 9. Oh-2 delivery. Fastball, ground ball. Second baseman, Doran. 2, Glenn Davis, 1 away.
Perry.
He'll bat for himself. He's hitting in the 8th spot. Cardinals made a double switch when they changed pitchers. Perry swings is pretty good, but with not the greatest results. And he flies out on the first pitch. So this could be an easy inning. He struggled, Scott did, in the 6th, but he's having no trouble here in the 7th. He got Ozzie on 3 pitches, and now Perry walks up there trailing by 3 runs in the 7th inning and swings at the first pitch. That's not good baseball, folks. Not good at all. Ozzie went up there and took 2 strikes. And then the pitcher takes a swing at the first one. I guess you have to write these guys in indelible ink, huh, Jay? You make no comment. A foul by Mike LaValliere. He came in.
It's not an easy game, you know.
I never said it was easy, pal.
No, I know.
But it ain't tough to make a pitcher throw a strike when you're trailing by 3 in the 7th.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mike.
Especially if you're the pitcher and you're probably going to hit under 100 anyway.
Bob Forsch and Dennis Eckersley tomorrow at Busch Stadium. As the Cubs come in for 4, it'll be Danny Cox and Guy Hoffman to pitch Friday. Saturday afternoon, John Tudor and Rick Sutcliffe, and Sunday, the rookie Greg Matthews, who got his first victory here last night, goes against Steve Trout.
LaValliere sends the right fielder deep, but not deep enough. It's hauled in by Poole right around the track, and it's 3 up, 3 down. 7th inning stretch time down here in the Houston Astrodome. They laughed at Judge Hoffines when he showed them the plans of this thing before they built it. They don't laugh anymore. This is some structure. After 6.5, Astros lead 4-1.
Well, there's some Cardinal fans, and they're hoping the Redbirds can rebound here, down 4-1. I want to remind you, tomorrow night at 10, Mike Bush will take you on the weekly trip through the Highlight Zone. That offbeat look at the week's sports highlights. The Eyewitness News update at 10 with Dick Ford and Karen Foss hosting that show this week, along with Mike, of course, and meteorologist Bob Richards. The Eyewitness News update. 4-1 Astros. Pat Perry on the hill for the Cardinals. Bottom of the 7th, and once again Mike Shannon.
Greg Reynolds is the shortstop tonight. He's singled. He's lined to second. He's popped out, and he takes the strike from Pat Perry as Houston bats here in the 7th with a 4-1 lead. They've out-hit the Cardinals 6-4, outscored them 4-1. They're straightaway and deep for Reynolds. He's hit a couple of home runs this season. He has 15 RBIs, and he came in batting .280. He's hit safely in 4 of his last 5 games. Ooh, it just missed out there. Skid LaValliere is a very good receiver. We watch how he just sits back there. He makes it look easy, and it's not. Said no, and wants the pitcher to shake off a sign, even though he didn't give one, and then they throw that delivery. And it doesn't work as he slashes it into left for a base hit. For Houston now, 7 hits tonight. A leadoff single by Reynolds here in the 7th, and he's 2 for 4. Dennis Walling has singled and scored tonight. He's also flied to right and grounded to second. And the Redbirds look for their first DP of the evening. The Astros trying to stop the Cardinal winning streak at 4. Wants the fastball away. Double play ball. But Perry knew who was covering, Ozzie Smith, and it goes 1-6-3. Kept it down, got the DP.
For the Cardinals, their 55th double play of the season.
Are they ahead or behind their pace of last year? Here's the delivery low, and it is a good play by Perry as he bounces off the hill. He doesn't give Ozzie the best throw in the world, but with the agility and balance of that man, he turns the DP anyway. And here's the home run threat, Davis. Make a mistake on this guy, and it'll cost you $850.
You were over on the radio side when we got the phone calls and the chatter and the controversy. He and Storm Davis are no relation whatsoever.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. His mom called from Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, good.
And I don't know how that story got started. I know I read it someplace. Jack mentioned it last night.
Well, she ought to know.
Yeah, she knows.
Are you sure that it was his mother, though?
Yep, we confirmed it.
Well, we'll talk to him just to double check. 1-1 the count. In at the knees. Perry's pitched well since being recalled from Louisville.
He really has. I mentioned earlier that he hasn't given up a run.
Davis has hit 10 home runs. LaValliere didn't see that one come off the bat, but it'll go into the seats anyway. Nobody on. 2 down. We're in the 7th. Cardinals trailing by 3. They've been out hit 7-4 in an airless contest. And Perry's trying to retire Houston in order here in the 7th inning. We got Reynolds after a single. Walling bounced into a DP so he could face the minimum. Glenn stays alive as he bounces one into the seats. And a souvenir for one of those Cardinal fans we showed you at the start of this inning.
They're having a big celebration now. Look at them.
And they're gathering some booze.
They
from the
really
Texans
are
down here. They ain't letting it bother them either, are they? Of course, they're big enough they don't have to worry about it. Here's another foul. That one boy's big enough to work, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
They got themselves box seats in the first row. And to boot, they get a souvenir. Davis takes a little time before he walks back in. There's a big, strong, good-looking athlete, Glenn Davis. And he's the guy they anchor the lineup around. A little low, 2-2.
Davis, now the regular first baseman, made Enos Cabell an expendable item here.
Well, he's 0 for 2 tonight, Jay. He's walked, he's reached on a fielder's choice, and he's scored 2 runs. That one will be caught by Vince Coleman. And that takes care of Houston. A hit, a double play, nobody left. After 7, Hal Lanier and the Houston Astros lead Whitey Herzog and the St. Louis Cardinals 4-1.
Well, the Cardinals' Marty Hendon, the promotional director, has another wonderful item for you, the Cardinal Cooler Bag. It'll go to the first 25,000 fans age 18 or over with a paid admission on Sunday, June the 29th. The Cardinals will be in action against the Phillies at Busch Stadium at 1:15. And that is Cardinal Cooler Bag Day, brought to you by the Cardinals and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Coleman will lead it off as we move into the 8th inning. 4-7-0 for the Astros, 1-4-0 for the Cardinals. Coleman was walked in the first inning and stole a couple of bases. Originally, it had appeared he'd been hit by a pitch, but they changed the ruling after checking downstairs. So he walked in the first, grounded out in the third, singled and stole a base in the 6th. And this gets by, and it'll be 2 for Coleman. Little shot down the right side that Davis couldn't handle, and Coleman has a leadoff double. Thought for a moment that Davis was going to get to this ball. Vince was jammed, turned it over, and Davis had that ball go right underneath his glove. He was there. The ball just went underneath the glove. It's a double to start things for Coleman here in the 8th. McGee has popped out, grounded out, singled. He's stolen a base. The Cardinals with 4 stolen bases on the evening. Here's one down the right side. Coleman coming home, and it's a 4-2 game. Oh, McGee picks up his 2nd RBI of the night. He now has 22 on the year. Another inside pitch ripped down the right side. Cardinals trying to get back into this one. Now have 6 hits, and they get busy in the bullpen. The Cardinal dugout with Vince Coleman. Van Slyke, who has struck out twice and flied to right, will stand in against Mike Scott. Scott struck out the side in the 6th. As the Cardinals got 1 run on 3 hits and stranded 3. And he got Van Slyke as his 6th strikeout, then Clark as his 7th, and later Pendleton at his 8th when he was in a real jam. Swing and a miss by Andy. Down in the pin, it's DePino on the left, and big Charlie Kerfeld from Knobnoster, Missouri on the right. 1 strike to Van Slyke. See if McGee's going to do any running here. He doesn't go as they pitch out. A 4-2 game, 8th inning. All of the other National League action is over, and we'll be recapping it for you a bit later on. This is down to the first baseman. He looks to go to second, doesn't go there, and steps on first. So McGee is at second with 1 out as Van Slyke grounds out to first. Oh, an opportunity for Jack Clark. Clark, who homered here in the victory last night. And he represents the tying run here in the 8th. He has struck out twice and grounded out. Clark, as I mentioned early on, has had great success against the Astros. He is a .465 career lifetime average against them. Hal Lanier coming out to talk things over with Mike Scott. Scott has struck out 8. He has given 6 hits. And Lanier didn't have too much to say. He checked with his hurler and trots back to the dugout. Four to 2, the Astros. Swing and a miss by Clark. Well, those 2 runs in the 5th inning by the Astros, when they erupted after 2 were out, and they got RBIs from Cruz and Bass, the difference in this game. Way outside, 1-1. Fouled away as Jack had a big cut again, and he's in the hole 1-2. Mike Scott coming into tonight with a record of 4-4. And as we've mentioned, the top strikeout man in the National League. Clark hits it high into center field. Bass makes the play. Oh, McGee is out there at second, and it's up to Tommy Herr, who has flied to center, struck out, and walked tonight. Cardinals started the evening 20-27, 12.5 back of the Mets. The Mets have defeated San Diego. Astros got 2 in the 1st inning as Doran led off with a home run, and Davis scored later on a double by Cruz. And they got the 2 runs on 3 hits after 2 were out in the 5th, as we mentioned. That's been their scoring. Strike on the outside corner to Tommy Herr. Cardinals got a single run in the 6th when they stranded 3, and they have 1 here in the 8th. Fouled back, and Scott is out in front, 0-2 against Herr, and he has had the ability, Mike, all evening long when the chips were down to really deliver.
Well, Jay, he fanned the side in the 5th. He did it again in the 6th, and the 6th inning was the big one. The Cardinals
sure was
3 singles in a row by LaValliere, Coleman, and McGee, and then he struck out Van Slyke, Clark, and Herr, the 3, 4, and 5 men in the order.
Ooh, that just missed outside.
And that's that forkball delivery. He's perfected that pitch, Jay, where he can make it go away. He can make it go straight down. He takes a little off of it. This one, he watches it goes down and away. The tail's just too far away. That Herr has a great batting eye, doesn't he?
Fouled away.
And that was the high fastball that rides. You have that combination. It's no wonder he was an 18-game winner last season. And he leads the major leagues in strikeouts this season.
Herr battling against Mike Scott, trying to pick up McGee. Close the gap. It's 4-2 Astros, 8th inning. And another foul.
What cruncher in this game was that 5th inning.
Yeah, when 2 were out.
I remarked at the time, Jay, that if the Cardinals could get out of that inning and hold them at 2, they could possibly get into the bullpen and get rid of this guy because he's tough. But now he has that breathing room, so Hal Lanier, who visited the mound in this inning, is going to give him the opportunity, and he deserves the opportunity because of what he did in that 6th inning, striking out the 3, 4, and 5 men with the ball game on the line.
2-2 to Tommy Herr. 11,326 the paid attendance here in the Astrodome tonight.
Good thing you didn't bet me.
Oh, I wouldn't have had a shot. Little pop-up, and Doran will make the play. Cardinals get a run on 2 hits and strand 1. They have left 6, and we will go into the bottom of the 8th inning with Astros 4, the Cardinals 2.
Philadelphia, despite 3 Dodger home runs, defeated the Dodgers 8-7. Kevin Gross the winner, Bedrosian the save. And Cincinnati beat Chicago 2-0 on a 1-hitter by Tom Browning. All of the baseball is over in the National League except this one. Kansas City beat Milwaukee 8-6. Leonard with another victory is 6th. Detroit won at Oakland 8-5. Minnesota walloped Toronto 10-4. Seattle won at Baltimore 5-1, and Boston beat Cleveland 6-4. Texas has a 4-2 lead in the 9th at Chicago, and the Yanks lead on a home run by Winfield 1-0 after 1 at California. Jose Cruz takes a good Pat Perry fastball, and we're underway in the bottom of the 8th as Dave Smith warms up in the Houston bullpen. I don't know if he's going to be coming in to pitch the 9th or not. Sometimes they do that with him. He's that good. Now a ball low to Cruz. Cruz has been trouble tonight. A single, a double, 2 runs batted in. Home run by Bill Doran. And an RBI by Kevin Bass. As Houston has a 4-2 lead in the 8th. Now it's 2-1 on the batter. Cruz asks the count. It's wrong up on the board. It's 2 balls and a strike. Perry has pitched 2 1/3 innings in relief with no runs, and he misses low, and it's 3-1. Cruz leading off, and Bass next. There's a bouncer to the right side. The pitcher covers, takes the toss. He is out at first as Perry had to do some kind of a dance to catch the ball, spin around, and step on the base, which he did. And there's 1 out. Clark went over in front of Tom Herr, gave the ball to the pitcher covering. And Perry just did beat Cruz to the base. But Jose doesn't run quite as he used to. The batter is Kevin Bass, and after the first pitch to him, we'll have a station break. Bass drove in a run. He's walked twice, stolen a base. He's been a big part of this game. First pitch a ball. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
Station for sport. Third base.
Kevin Bass with 1 out takes the pitch low, ball 2. Cardinals in their 9th inning. And we're in the bottom of the 8th now. We'll have Pendleton, Smith, and the pitcher due up. Time called by the batter. All 4 Houston runs against Ray Burris, who started. And a 2-out rally in the 5th inning really hurt. 2 out, nobody on. A base hit by Walling up the middle. Davis walked. Here's a high fly ball to left. It'll be caught back at the track by Coleman off the bat of Bass, and they're 2 out. He sent Coleman all the way to the end of the track in front of the wall, 2 out. Just before Davis drew the walk in that 5th inning to become the 2nd runner, he took a half swing. The umpire said he didn't go around. Could have been called out on the play, and then Cruz got a hit and Bass got a hit. And that's made the difference. It's 4-2, 2 out, and up now is Terry Poole. Left-handed batter, swing and a miss. Poole is 0 for 3. Perry trying to complete a good outing for him. There's a swing and a line drive into left. That ball curves foul, and that's strike 2. I really thought, Ken Wilson, that Poole was going to get better and better every year and be one of the stars of the game, didn't you?
I really did, and I think a lot of people did, but the injuries have taken their toll, and I think one of the reasons people thought he might continue to blossom more was he hadn't really played all that much baseball up in Canada. Certainly enough to get signed, showed a lot of talent and a lot of really skills, but you know, if he really had blossomed, this would have been a different franchise.
No balls, 2 strikes, the count to Poole. Batting with 2 outs. Strike called. He's out and the inning's over. Pat Perry gets his 2nd strikeout. Retired 5 in a row to finish his stint. Now we've played 8 and the stage is set for a Cardinal rally in the ninth. Let's see if it happens. Houston leads by the score of 4-2.
All right, well, we have a new pitcher. Dave Smith is on, and while he warms up, we'll pause for station identification. This is the St. Louis Cardinals Television Network.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This is KLJB TV Davenport.
Well, there are the stats on Dave Smith. A 1.89 ERA. Mike Scott goes 8 innings. He gives up 2 runs on 6 hits. He struck out 8. And he walked 2. Oh, a nice job for Mike Scott. Got some changes in the outfield. Hatcher has moved into left field. That's Billy Hatcher in left. Bass remains in center, and we have a new right fielder also. Oh, now Walker is in center field, and Bass has moved into right. Oh, it's Hatcher, Walker, and Bass in the outfield now. One ball account to Terry Pendleton, who has grounded out and struck out twice. In the 6th, he struck out with the bases loaded. 1-1. Smith is a 6'1", 190-pound right-hander. Born in San Francisco and lives now in the lovely community of Del Mar, California. With Houston last year 9-5 and a 2.27 ERA. Doran makes the play in time. 1 out. 4-2 Astros, 9th inning. Here's Ozzie. He's popped out in the 5th. He singled. He grounded out in the 7th. Ozzie 1 for 3. And that makes him 5 for 10 in this series. Ball 1 to Ozzie. The Redbirds need 2 to tie. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's Hurdle on deck for the Cardinals. Time called. Ozzie hits it on the ground to Doran, and they're 2 gone. Clint Hurdle with an average of 179 and 2 RBIs. Cardinals need something from him to have an opportunity, or it'll be all over. There's a strike from Dave Smith. Boy, Perry did a nice job tonight in relief. 3 1/3 innings, no runs, a hit. He struck out 2 and walked none. One strike to count to Clint Hurdle. Hurdle from Big Rapids, Michigan. Drafted from the New York Tidewater Club last December by the Cardinals. And that's it. The Astros are winners here 4-2. But the Cardinals take 2 out of 3 here and 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati on the road trip. Back with more in a moment. Here in the Dome in Houston, it was 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 6 left for the Astros as Scott picks up the victory. He's 5-4. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 6 left for the Cardinals. Burris is the loser. He is 2-2. Our Midas Touch Award brought to you by your local Midas Muffler and Brake Shops, and the award goes tonight to Jose Cruz, who had a couple of big RBIs in this ball game, the former Cardinal. As the Astros were winners 4-2, the award a donation to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital in the name of Jose Cruz. Back with some final thoughts right after this. A 4-2 victory for the Astros. The Cardinals 4-2 on the road trip, heading home tonight. Tomorrow, Bob Forsch against Eckersley in the first game of a 4-game series against the Cubs at Busch Stadium. So, for Jack Buck and for Mike Shannon, this is Jay Randolph reminding you that we'll be on the air Sunday, June the 15th, the Cardinals and the Cubs. Also locally on Saturday afternoon, we'll have Cardinal Cubs action for you in the St. Louis area through the facilities of NBC. The Redbirds lose it 4-2 from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Jay Randolph reminding you that St. Louis Cardinals baseball is a presentation of KSDK Sports.